we're going to do something a little bit different today. You're going to come with me over here. All right, we're going to leave my studio and go into another YouTube studio, which is Tom's studio. I'm just going to sit at his desk. Hopefully this is okay. Hopefully it looks and sounds okay. But anyway, I wanted to do a little bit of an update because I typically do these updates through a very long post, which I share in the Discord server and on my Instagram and YouTube community posts and stuff like that. But they take me forever to write, like a couple of hours. And things have just been happening so fast that I haven't gotten a chance to write anything. And by the time I do, another thing happens that's really exciting. And so I feel like I've kind of lost the touch of like doing these updates. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to do a video update. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video. But if you're in the Heather Just Play community, I feel like you would appreciate just kind of hearing my overall thoughts and feelings about how everything's going with this channel. It's kind of crazy because I think for most of us in this community, myself included, we didn't know each other before. But it feels like we've known each other for a really long time, which is such a cool feeling. And just in the past couple of weeks, our community has seen some really big wins, which I've talked about in some live streams and some videos, but to me, they're so special that it's worth repeating. So first, our Discord server turned 1 month old, which is awesome. We have a free company now in Final Fantasy XIV. Shout out Kraken's Call. We did our first free company event. Shout out to Kayan for organizing our amazing maps night. We had our first Unreal Clear. Shout out to Avita for organizing that whole thing and giving yourself a chance to do your first like raid call out thing. And then Tom and I also did our first MSQ stream. And that's just like in the past 2 weeks, I think. So lots of stuff has been happening and it's just so fun. And I think it really is worth highlighting because it would have been so easy for none of those things to happen. You know, it's just easier for people to not go out of their way. Yes, this is part of the Heather Just Play channel, but like all of that was people, a lot of you guys coming together to contribute and make that happen. And I just think that's just such a special thing, and all those things really speak to how this channel, this community is different and exciting, and something I care deeply about, and obviously a lot of you guys do too. I think one of the things that I noticed when I met Tom is that we've always had a unique sense of awe and wonder for the world. You know, I know that sounds bizarre, but I feel like you guys get that, right? So something that seems so ordinary, like it's just a Final Fantasy 14 free company. Like who cares? You know, like who cares about any of this stuff, right? It's like someone can say it's dumb, someone can say it doesn't matter, but I feel like one of the things that brought Tom and I together is that something that seems so ordinary, and it's not disingenuous, right? Like we genuinely see the extraordinary in the ordinary. And I think that this community does that also, which is so cool. Like I'm still like, I can't believe that this awesome group of people from all around the world is gathering together, and it's just such a special thing. It's just so freaking cool. And I think a lot of it is discovering or rediscovering fun, being able to share that with others. I think that's hard as an adult. It's hard to make friends as an adult. And for some reason, that magic is happening here, which is so exciting. I'm going to say exciting like 200 times by the end of this video. It also goes beyond that though, because there's already so many stories in this community of people having some kind of like transformational, what I would consider transformational moments, right? Like things that I feel like are meaningful, right? When you are trying something for the first time, or you're kind of having a fresh perspective on something that you thought wasn't for you, I think that's so special, right? And to be able to have the environment where you can try something and you realize, oh, it wasn't because you sucked as a player or whatever. It's just like you had to have the right people around you and the right environment and stuff. That carries into your real life, right? That carries even though I'm just a YouTube creator and this is just video games and whatever. Like when you feel empowered, that matters. That's special. And there's so many instances of that have happened in the past month already. And it's cool. It's just, I don't know, it's just cool that, so many of you care, and you're going out of your way to share that with others also. Like, I don't know, it's just I'm so freaking lucky. I have no idea. I have no idea. So I can go on and on about how cool this community is, but the thing that I wanted to talk about today are kind of what I'm trying to focus on and some bigger picture stuff. So, sorry, this is gonna be all over the place. This is how my mind works. So, 3 things that I'm trying to focus on. First is getting a weekly video out. That to me is just kind of the number one priority of being a YouTube creator. I think it's the videos that bring in new people, and it's the videos that are bringing in people who aren't necessarily playing Final Fantasy 14, right? And that's an opportunity to get them to discover this game that I love so much. But then also just like it's the videos that I feel like bring in or make it so that people gravitate towards the vibe of this community, and then like they can join the community from there. We can play this game or that game or talk about all these things, whatever. But I feel like it's the videos that really do that. So I want to make that a priority. Even if I didn't do videos, there's so many things that uh, I could be doing or working on when it comes to cultivating this community. And that's why I want to make that a priority, because I feel like it's really important. The other thing is I would really like to not be the bottleneck of anything that happens in the community. And so many of you guys from our Discord mods, our YouTube mods, our Kraken's Call officers, and even like, so many of you who aren't necessarily like in a leadership role, so many of you guys are stepping up to party and game together, to show somebody how to do something, to connect over these other video games or food or whatever, right? I want the community to be able to connect even though I'm working on a video or doing some other stuff, right? And I think that's already happening. If you have an idea for something, I'm open, right? Like if there's like, I know there's talk of doing a weekly Unreal Clear thing, which is awesome. We could do like weekly maps and stuff. Like those ideas have come up, but also like whatever. Some of the things that I have so many ideas also. See, that's another problem is like I want to do this, I want to do this, but I want to do all these things that are just like floating in my head. And then a week and a half ago, I was noticing that I was just getting overwhelmed in my own ideas on top of like everyone else's ideas that they have. And so I dumped everything into kind of like a mind map so I can see everything. But now it's just overwhelming every time I open it. So like whatever, I need to find some kind of system for me to make it so that I can prioritize, organize, step away, but be able to come back. This is my biggest problem right now. Now I'm kind of just going over the place. We have gone off script. But one of the things I've been struggling with is it's like really hard for me to switch gears. And, we have life stuff happening. We have family coming into town this weekend. Tom and I were at a leadership conference last week all day on Friday. There are things that like pull my attention away from being able to work on this, which is like the one thing that I want to do. When I get pulled away, I have trouble switching back and remembering like what I was doing. I have ADHD also. I don't know. That's probably a big part of it. But like I'm trying to work on being able to be a little bit flexible and be able to switch gears so that when family does come into town, I like the community can still do stuff and I don't have to feel like I'm kind of like the plates that are spinning just drop because I have to go do this thing, right? So I'm kind of working on that and trying to figure it out. So I wrote two things in here. One is I would like to work on a better way to get feedback from the community. And then also I would like to create some kind of Instagram stories / feed equivalent in the Discord server. I have so many things that I want to share throughout the day and I share them on Instagram, but there a lot of you who are watching this like don't follow me over there, and I like you don't have to if you don't want to, if you're not on Instagram. My point is I want to try to build something that is that in the Discord server where I feel like a lot of you guys are. So, and my point in doing this is like the more that I can share kind of what I'm thinking about or, any ideas and stuff, I feel like that could be things where you can connect over, right? Like somebody can say something and then that can make you think of something else. And now you guys are, you can kind of use that as a bonding moment. But then also I want to kind of have more opportunities where even if you haven't been active in the Discord server yet, like that doesn't mean you have to prove yourself, right? Like whatever idea that my posts inspire you to think of is like worth sharing, right? Like let's figure it out together. I think that if you are watching this video, you kind of understand like the vibe in terms of I want to try to make it all happen. Like let's all do everything, right? Like let's do it. I'm down. I feel like if you're here, you're down, and we're all about like making it so that everybody has a good time. So those are things that I'm like on the bigger picture kind of thinking about. But there's other things that I also wanted to share. So let's talk about, I don't know, numbers maybe, because obviously this is a YouTube channel, but this is also my third, like officially my third. I've started many others that didn't end up seeing the light of day. And if you don't know this, I have been doing YouTube for 8 years. Tom has been doing YouTube for 7 years. This is also how we met. But check this out. Boop. This is Tom's silver play button. Ow, this is heavy. These are the new ones. So his original play button is over there on the wall. I don't know if you can see it over there. This is like the new redesigned one. But yeah, so this is a silver play button for getting 100,000 subscribers. I think he's at 153. Oh my god, I almost dropped that. Did you see that? Sorry, babe. So yeah, this is gonna be stream of consciousness. So I don't know if I'm gonna make sense, but Tom has a channel that has a very broad reach, which is awesome. I like the, I don't know, small town feel of the Heather Just Play community exactly where it is now. I like that I know so many of your names, right? Like, I like that I feel like I'm not alone in building this YouTube channel. When I'm editing videos, I'm thinking of you guys. Like, I am thinking like, oh, this person will get such a kick out of this, this shot or this edit or whatever. Like, I am making all this stuff for you, and it feels great, And so I guess my point in bringing that up is like, what's really cool is I feel like I've already won. I feel like I have that already in the community that we've built here, even though it's not 100,000, even though it's not these like crazy numbers. Of course, like, I would like to have other people have access to the fun vibe and the supportive, encouraging community that we have here. I'd like to share that with more people in terms of like, do I want to have like a million subscribers? Like these numbers that I'm like, what the heck? No, to be honest, like, I know it sounds weird, but like I feel like I'm already doing what I want to do. It's more of like, how do we get more of the right people and just keep having fun, right? Like just keep doing what we're doing on a maybe a little bit more scaled up. So I guess the reason why I share that is there are definitely, like, I'm conscious of, you know, for example, for our 1 month Discord server uh, event, right? Where Kraken's Call did it was our first event. Kane organized it. We did an amazing ultimate treasure map showdown. We had two groups going and we just did, I don't even know how many maps we did in like 2 hours. And it was so seamless in terms of like, there wasn't any waiting around or dilly dallying. Like, we crunched out the maps and it was so much fun. I know I could have titled that video or that live stream like, you know, something that had like a challenge in it, like ultimate, how many maps can we open in an hour? Or something like that, that really is YouTube-y, right? But to me, the important thing is that we're celebrating having this Discord server for a month when it could have not existed, right? Like the fact that it exists and it's existed for a month and there's a whole month worth of people connecting that would have otherwise not met. That to me is the thing to celebrate. Now, that means that if you are not a part of my Discord server, you do not care about that event, right? If I were to title it like how many Final Fantasy 14 maps can we open in an hour? Yeah. If you like Final Fantasy 14, it doesn't matter if you know about my Discord or who I am. That's still interesting to watch, right? So I guess the reason why I bring that up is like I would rather focus on the people that are here. Yes, I want new people to come in, but not for the sake of new people coming in, right? Like, and I think you guys get that. The officers for Kraken's Call, we've had this discussion of like, we're not going to do the spamming, guild recruiting in just the general chat. Like, I feel like we're not trying to be the biggest free company, or I'm not trying to have the biggest community or anything. What matters is that there's the vibe here that people are gravitating towards, right? And that's the thing. Like, I don't even care how big or small, but as long as that is there, that to me is the specialness. It's not going to be size that's going to make it special. It's the vibe, right? So I guess my point is like, if you are watching and you're like, there should be more people watching this stream, there should be more viewers, there should be more likes, there should be more subscribers. I don't know if any of you are thinking that, but I get the sense that some of you are. Don't worry about that, because I'm not worried about that, right? Like, there doesn't need to be a certain number in order for it to be like, okay, now we can have fun. Like, we're already having fun here. It's already happening, right? Like, imagine we already have this in the house, right? We don't need another one. Like, we've already crossed the finish line. Tom and I are having a great time, and I feel like a lot of you guys are too. The other thing I want to talk about is like, a few people have asked how they can support the channel. Obviously, like, being that I have been a full-time YouTube creator for 8 years, like, monetization is obviously something that like I have thought about. But both Tom and I, like, we recognize that in all the years I've been doing YouTube, this is the most fun I've had. I feel like I am maximizing my potential. It's like, if I took all the talents and traits and things that are unique to me, I feel like I'm actually able to do those things. I feel like I'm creating at my best, which is like, oh, it's just the best feeling. So going off of that, I don't want to now switch gears to be like, here's the way that I have to monetize, right? I want it to be organic. So we're going to wait to see like what feels right. I will keep you updated. But right now, you know, I don't know. I would think like we're still kind of in like this initial phase. And so that's just not something I'm thinking about. But since some of you asked like how to support the channel, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how you can support the channel now. So the first thing is comments/feedback, which so many of you guys are doing already. It's not even for engagement. It's for me, right? Because luckily I don't feel this with this channel because you guys are so awesome. But YouTube can be very isolating in that it's something where the YouTube creator is creating something from nothing, right? Like we are creating this thing that doesn't exist. In order to do that, it takes a lot of energy, thought, uh, you know, just kind of bringing something to life that started out as this idea in your head, putting it out there and hoping it does well. Kind of the only feedback we get is from YouTube, which does not care about how you feel, about how much effort you put in. Like it's just a dashboard of numbers, right? And so as a YouTube creator, you kind of have to have your own parameters for what is success or what does well and all of that. Otherwise, that's the fastest way to burn out right there. But for me, it's like, you know, I mean, I think you guys can tell this, right? Like I vibe off of other people's energy. And so if I put this thought into creating something and it just goes out into the void, it kind of feels empty, right? Like it feels like what did the thing I make matter, right? And so I don't ask you to comment in order to like, oh, let's make this perform well on YouTube. It's more of like, I just want to hear what you think about the thing that I made for you. Right? Like the same way if I were to like cook you something in person, like what'd you think of this, you know, cake or whatever? And if you imagine, like, if I had a whole dining room table of people and no one said anything, it'd feel weird, right? I'd feel like, does this suck, right? The other thing is thumbs up. That thumbs up on the videos is a signal to me because you do have to go out of your way to hit that button. I don't, I want to try to keep things organic, but I know sometimes it's like we forget to hit the thumbs up button. So if you want to remind people, awesome. But I will tell you right now, which like it's so stupid and petty, and I wish I could just be like, just ignore it, Heather. But I think like being the person that I am, who's always excited about everything, I can't turn off the way that I feel about, like, if I'm going to be super excited, I'm also going to pay attention to these things, is what I'll say, that I probably shouldn't be paying attention to. But here's the thing. Every single time I go live, there is a giant dislike. Like someone gives me a thumbs down immediately. And in the program that I use, it's like it splashes across the comment screen of just like, and then it just hangs out there at the top for the entire stream, which is stupid. It's probably the same person who's just doing it. And obviously, like, whatever, people are just people. I want to say it doesn't bother me. It's one person, all these things. Like, obviously, I know this, but it can be kind of just a combination of how I'm feeling that day or, whether I'm second guessing myself. It's just that combination of like, well, here's my brain is going to, if I'm feeling doubtful, my brain is going to find evidence to affirm that doubt, right? And so that thumbs down might be irrelevant on some days. And then on certain days, it can really like, I'm human, I don't know. The other thing is affiliate links. So I haven't really shared affiliate links very much on this channel yet, but I think this is a happy, kind of like a win-win for everybody. So what affiliate links are basically like, for example, Amazon. I've been an Amazon affiliate for a really long time. So if I say, like, here, I'll take this microphone. I don't know what this is, but if I am talking about how awesome this microphone is, I can leave a link to, for you guys to buy this on Amazon. And if you're shopping for a microphone and you click that link, then I get a cut off of the purchase, right? At no extra cost to you. So it's a win-win because it's not like you would have bought it anyway. You are kind of hearing my genuine endorsement for this thing that I've been using all the time. So like, for example, the Encyclopedia Eorzeas, right? These are the lore books for Final Fantasy XIV. I love them. Now, if I include the links to those books in the description underneath this video and you click on that, like I get a percentage of that purchase, right? So that is one way that I feel like is a monetization opportunity that is kind of a win-win, because Tom and I both have a whole ethics statement on our websites where, like, I'm not going to share anything with you that I don't already use or I'm not genuinely excited about. So if you're seeing me like talk about, the Encyclopedia Eorzeas or this hat or something like that, like I will always talk about things that I actually care about and would recommend. And so I feel like that's one way where you get to, get your hands on something that you think would excite you based on like my thoughts on it. Does that make sense? So that's another way that you can kind of support the channel. And Finley is very excited about that if you can't hear him. So this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I really did kind of want to touch base and share kind of the bigger picture things that I've been thinking about. It's just, I cannot say it enough how incredible this whole thing has been so far. And it's just like my favorite part in my life right now. It's such a highlight for Tom and I. Every single day we talk about it. I dream about it. I have lost sleep over it. Like, I'm just so excited about it. And it's, I wish I had more words to describe, and I just don't say excited over and over. But, to me, like, it really feels like an extension of me and Tom's relationship. One of the things that we did before we even got together was, like, when we first met, we went to Disneyland and we were watching Fantasia, which is like a nightly show that they do that's like fireworks and whatever. It's a whole thing, based off of the movie Fantasia. And there's a point in the show where, like, the pirate ship from Pirates of the Caribbean comes out over the lake, and, like, it's this whole production. And I don't know if Tom had ever seen it, but when the ship sailed out, I looked over at Tom and he had tears in his eyes. And I was like, okay, so it's not just me, right? Like, yes, this is so cool, but it's awesome to meet somebody who thinks it's just as cool as I do, right? Like, someone can be like, oh, I've seen this 2,000 times. This is dumb. Who cares? It's just a pirate ship, like, whatever. And there are those people. There will always be those people, and that's fine. Like, no hate on them. That's cool. But to be able to have met somebody who has that sense of appreciation for this really cool thing that's happening, I feel like that's what a lot of this community is. It's like, yeah, this game, Final Fantasy XIV, has been here for years, over a decade, or whatever other cool things that we're going to be doing, in the near future. I just like that everyone cares and is excited, because it's so easy to not. It's so easy to be like, who cares? Like, that's dumb. Complain, when, like, the magic is all there, and it's not, I don't feel like it's disingenuous, and I don't think you guys do either, right? Like, I think you know what I'm talking about. So I better cut myself off, because I'm just going to talk all night, and Tom and I have to go to a hockey game, and I have to edit this before that hockey game, so I better go. But I just wanted to do an update. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I'd love your feedback and to hear your thoughts as well. You guys all are a part of building this thing here, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, I'm telling you, it's one of the coolest things that is in my life that I've been able to be a part of, but none of it would exist if you guys weren't here. Like, it could just be me and Tom, but the fact that you're here is awesome. So, I want to do a special shout out to everyone on the leadership team, the Discord mods, the YouTube mods, Kraken's Call officers. You guys definitely stepped it up to make me feel like there's somebody who cares about this thing as much as I do. And that is like such a cool, like, as you're having fun, I feel like I'm getting a sense that you're having fun, but you are making it just as fun for me, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you guys, like, not just, the leadership team, like, even if you have been in the server and you haven't said anything yet, it's all good. Like, I have other ideas for Discord events that we're going to do, non-Final Fantasy 14 things that we're going to do, because there's actually a surprising amount of people who are following and that leave me comments and watch videos that are not playing Final Fantasy 14. So, yeah, like, my goal is to just bring this really cool group of people together and for us to do fun things together. So, anyway, I don't know how to end this. Actually, here's how I'll end it. This is Tom's room. One of the videos that I want to do is a little studio tour about all the cool things in Tom's studio, because when I did my studio tour on this channel, it was the same thing. Like, he's done a ton of studio tours, but he talks about the YouTube part for his audience. But there's so many fun little Easter eggs that I think you guys would get a kick out of. And Pimpy, like, if you can't see all the Aquabats stuff, Pimpy is also an Aquabats fan. It's Tom's favorite band. Anyway, I better stop because I will go on forever. Appreciate you guys. I will talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.